Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on this video, and today is another part on the Messerschmitt 109 E3, which I showed yesterday, and which was a test video, and to be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. I've had some response from it, and from those who responded, thank you so much, it means a lot to me. And if you could spread the word, that would be even better, because I want to do a lot more, and I want to share a lot more with you guys. Obviously this is an early Messerschmitt, 1940, this first sort combat, and basically I want to show you guys how I weather the thing, and what I want to show you today is the application of a clay wash. And the clay wash that I'm going to be using is this one here from Flory Models. Okay, absolutely love this wash. I find it a lot more convenient than using oil washes or excuse me, or enamel washes. It's not smelly, it's water based, it's just easy to use, and for me it's just convenient. Anyway, I want to show you where I got to on this. So as you can see there, look, all the decals are on. Just gonna have to turn this light on because it's really bright outside, and all my blinds are shut, and yet it's still quite bright in here. But there's a boo-boo on this. I made an awful mistake with the decal. I didn't notice it until this morning. And for love nor money, with a kettle, steam to try and lift it off, brush, try and prise it off, it just wasn't having it. This happened. Where is it? Over here. It went all wonky on me. So joke's on me on that one, I'm afraid. So if you can just ignore that, okay? It's not going to be seen when it's on display. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, that's for sure. But what I want to show you is what I'm going to be working on is the cowling. As you see, it's a bright white cowling, and also I want to show you where I've made mistakes and where my fingernails have caught the paintwork and scratched it. We're going to turn that into basically into a battle damage, weathering, etc. Let's try and get that behind. I have not been on the camera for years. There we go. You can see this scratch mark in that square panel, and then there's a smear of paint from the canopy where I was doing a bit of touch up from the overspray of the white. Well, we're going to turn all of that into battle damage. Scraps, chip paint, stainage, you name it, it's going to go on there. And the first stage we're going to do is the clay wash. Just lower the camera, turn it around, and basically this is all I'm using. Give it a good shake, get the clay up, and don't use your best brushes for this, okay? Just use a crappy old brush that I bought from the works about a decade ago, and it's ideal for this sort of job. And all the decals have been locked in with a gloss coat. Make sure your decals are locked in, because if you don't, it's going to peel it all off, and you're going to launch the aircraft across the living room, wherever it is, wherever you do your hobby. So I'm just going to pour a tiny bit, say a tiny bit, into the cap there. Don't have to be precise, I'm just going to splash it on. Just work it all into those little rivet holes, nooks and crannies. I have plenty of cotton buds, tissue paper on standby. So just get this all worked in, and then we'll clean up once it's dry. I'm just going to show you the front of the nose today, because this is where it's all going to be most noticeable. Doesn't matter if you get it on the RM65 blue. Okay. And that's just one dab in it, that's covered. Apart from that bit and that bit, get that done. if you wonder what that little clicking noise is inside, that's the actual little prong that holds the propeller. I knocked it, I didn't glue it, I forgot about it, and it just fired back into the fuselage. So not a lot to do about it. So anyway, we're going to let this dry. All right, and then we are going to hang on. One thing you want to keep an eye on is pooling. Yeah, like in these cannons here, I don't want it to pool in there. Right then, there we go. I'm just going to leave that at that. No, I'm not happy with that. Let's put a bit more on. Now, if it pulls, I'll just clean it up properly. Well, that thickness, that's probably going to take about 20 minutes to dry, so I'm going to switch the camera off and I'll get back to you. Okay, just tell me if I'm doing anything wrong in the way I'm speaking. Okay, because I don't like putting music on the videos because it's just you just keep getting done for copyright all the time. Anyway, let's get on with this. See you in a bit. Okay, this is all dry now, and gonna start removing the clay wash, and let's see what happens. Just gonna dampen a bit of tissue, and we're just gonna wipe back in the direction of the wind. And see, it doesn't take long to do at all, but it's filled all those lovely. Let's go. All this here, look, and giving some nice effects here, look, as well. All those rivets, really nicely. The wash is taken really well. This won't be white. I'll paint that later. I tend to do all the little bits last for some reason. It's just the way I do things. While I was off camera, I actually did the whole of the aircraft in the wash. No point messing about while it's open. Get it done. So I may have gone off camera there. If I did, I apologise. It's just like all still so very new to me, even though it's just cocktail brush for this one. This one that's a bit stubborn. That will all have. This will all be chipped. Yeah. What I like to use for paint chipping effect is I don't like using silver. It just looks too fake, in my opinion. If you look at metal on aircraft, cars, lorries, whatever vehicle it may be, before it corrodes, it's like a matte grey. It's never a bright silver, in my opinion. Not to my experience, anyway. But each to their own, you know. We all have our ways of doing things. But yeah, that's as far as I'm going to take it on that there. I mean, it's a very simple thing to do. It's easy. It's less messy than using enamels or oils, and the overall effect I think is rather nice. See all them rivets there? Believe me, it looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. Again, all this is going to be toned back a lot once I start getting pigments and what have you on here, and we shall, start having some fun. Right, the colour I'm going to use for the scratches, etc. It's going to be the Vallejo colour, which is I've had this bottle years. This one here, neutral grey. Take it back there. I'm on manual focus on the camera, but yeah, it's I just like using it. I'm just gonna get, this is my advanced palette. There you go. Let's give that a quick shake. A little bit of paint on the palette. Job done. Small brush. Got a few different sizes here. Got let's just get these into some sort of order. There we go. I use these Rosemary & Co. Kolinsky Sable brushes. So I've got a 0, 3, 0 and a 10, 0. And they keep a really nice point, much better than synthetic, and last donkey's years if you look after them well. I like using their brushes because they are cheap for what you're getting, and you know, and you're keeping a local company active. You're not giving no money to these companies that buy like 10,000 million brushes from China and flog them out and saying this is a Da Vinci blah blah blah, and it's not. It's just a load of shit. But with these are really good. They're handmade, and I mean, like this one here, this is a 3-0. I think this costs like £4.50, and it's Kolinsky Sable. Okay, I like to hand paint. Oh, where are you going? Right, scratches. Around little edges like this, because these are areas that are prone to, doesn't have to be exact. Okay, just your paint diluted, of course, about 50-50 mixed with water. So a nice point on the brush there. I'll just go around the other one there. So it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, because when you look at weathering, for example, something that's been, you know, trashed about in the walls and what have you, they are not going to be spick and span, super clean, nice and glitzy. They are going to basically look really crap, you know, with maybe some minor patchwork on the bodyworks. Other areas you can concentrate on also is scratches. I mean, like here around the exhaust, this area would get extremely hot, so paint will flake off. Oops, sorry. See, on here on the exhaust, on this top bit here, that would get very hot, you know, during the course of its like you say, it's tour of duty. And these edges of the panels, these are all individual panels that come off the aircraft. So it's a separate panel on the top here. This is a side panel. It's overall cowling. It's, I don't know how it came off on the E3, if it just lifted off like a canopy or whatever, I don't know. But we're going to concentrate on this little bit here. And I'm just using the edge of my brush just to simulate some. No, that does look crap, so I'll get rid of that quickly with this. Just bring that around. Hope you guys can see this alright. And this is just like a base for the rest of the effects we will put onto this. Because like I say, we're going to add some pigments to this in another video. Not today. I'm just gently tapping the brush. No skill involved there. You're just literally just tapping it, and to get a better effect if you do it on the opposite side. Give you a nice indication of the chip marks on both sides and a little bit of paint left in the middle of that panel. And you can just repeat this process all over the aircraft wherever you want. Sorry if you missed that. I'm concentrating on the model, not the screen. Let's just get this focused now. Okay, so I just worked this area here. Okay, so I applied just little dabs of neutral grey paint around there at the top of the exhaust and on the bottom, and just left you with this bit of white, dirty white in the middle here. The actual stacks will be painted in a matte black base, and then after that they will be treated with pigments, starting off with probably a light rust or a standard rust colour, and then darken down with a bit of black, and then the soot will be carried on down all the way down the side here, and I'll demonstrate that in another video. I think that'd be a good one for another video. So we're going to go to the other side of the exhaust stacks, clean the brush off, get some more paint, not too much, and try and show you better this time. Okay, so I just want to tap it on, as light as you can. So I've got to try and look at this and aim it at the camera at the same time. It's quite difficult. And like I said, and the paint is fairly thin. And you just do some random tapping just in the middle on the edges. Just bring that bit, you know, give a bit more life, and then on the top bit here. Crikey. You can just do the same. Yeah, just get a bit of, there we go. Just a bit of paint damage like that. Put a couple more little speckles in there. It's easy as that. Doesn't have to be exact. It's not an exact science or at all or anything like that. It's just plain and simple. Just dragging your brush across and having fun. Yeah, and again across here. I mean, I prefer doing it this way than using a sponge, because the sponge, in my opinion, it is good. Don't get me wrong, but it just takes the fun out. You know, it's just like dab, dab, done. It's good if you're in a hurry, but you know, this kit was a gift from a friend, and I basically don't want to rush it on and make an okay job of it for myself. And that's all we're doing, is we're just can't really see what I'm doing there because my glasses are. Alright, okay. I'm gonna have to put that down. Just zoom in quickly. Okay. Ugh. Okay. So I'm just, like I said before, just tapping, not making it, just try to make it as random as possible. Yep. Just clean a bit more. By the way, this kit by Eduard, it's an old one, but it's not bad. I wish they'd do a retooling of it, especially with an F or a G variant. If you're ever watching Eduard, you know, listen to your customers. Okay, this here we'll see a lot of chipping because you know, this cover comes off for engine maintenance, so it gets handled a lot. So you just, all it is, you just got to think where chipping might be. For example, we're on here, right? We've lost part of the panel line. I'm not going to rescribe it because I'm going to screw it up good and proper. Okay, so what we can do, we can use the paint chipping to do the work for us, you know, and just make it look like, you know, the access cover where it's been coming off and on, yeah, has been chipped a lot. If you do it in like little T shapes, the best you can, neat as you can, and try not to apply too much pressure, so the less pressure, the thinner the line. Okay, just bring that around a bit. And I'm going to bring some onto the green. You can see that too well. The only day I don't want the sunshine. Okay. Don't worry if it goes on water either, because you can actually just build it up and you get a better effect then as well. Because it's best to have a couple of thin coats than one thick globule of a coat. So again, we'll just pop random scratches on there. I'm going to do exactly the same all the way around this area here, all the way over, and on the other side. And I'm going to remove the clay wash on the rest of the plane. And after that, I'm going to dabble about with some stain work, which I will use. I might use oils actually for this because it's localized, it's not all over. So some lamp black oil paint on here, or some grey paint actually, some Payne's grey, and splodge it around, and then we'll thin it out with a knackered brush, and it gives you a really nice effect of stains. So we'll do that in another video. Okay, I'm going to leave it at this with this one. It's been running for 16 minutes now, and I hope you like it. Please leave your comments and tell me what you'd like to see done on aircraft for weathering effects, building effects, any tips you'd like to know. Just leave your comments in the boxes below. And thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys on the next one. Thanks again. Take care, everyone.